crawls to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then it's his to this head and slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Roll dice and woes of life. Love and pride, look at her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal chandeliers, movies reflected. Often mirrors appear quick, grinning from ear to ear. Craving and raining rain, rekindle the flame. Close as she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, in paradise. We know I've heard this. In paradise, in paradise. We know what I've heard this. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you can see.
Boom. Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Thursday edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and hope everybody's had a good 4th of July recovery. Now it's time for the weekend, time to get a little busy. Hope you guys have full weekend plans. I'm sure everybody's probably trying to recover from what happened this weekend, but me on the other hand, I had a pretty good weekend. 4th of July was good. Had a good time with Fat Boy in there. He's passed out in there snoring. So talking about Ace, and then of course the Thunder played Monday night. Got to watch them play against Utah, which we talked about Wednesday, and then of course last night the Thunder won against Utah, and then of course lost last night against the Sixers, and against the Grizzlies. We played the Sixers tonight, and to me, when we were watching the game last night. Part of what I saw, part of the Thunder, and what they did is it was pretty frustrating to kind of watch because, first of all, J-Dub didn't play, which I'm completely comfortable with. There was no need to play him. He's the one guy, I think, kind of like Josh Giddey was last year when he played in the Summer League. It was kind of like, why is he playing? Why do you even have him on? Why is he out here? Because there's no benefit to having Josh out there. He was just dominant, and so was J-Dub on Monday night. It was, he put on a show. But last night we were without him, and what I found interesting is that defensively we started out the game with not the same passion and the same enthusiasm and the same pressure out on the perimeter that we did the first night. And I think, and I was talking to Nathan Taylor on the After the Storm last night, which of course is my Thunder post-game analysis show that we do after every Thunder game. And part of it was the fact that J-Dub, I think him, just the way that he started Monday night, the way he came at the opposing team, his defensive pressure, getting his hands, and then him attacking the basket. You see that it's almost like with SGA. You can see that he's the leader, and he led by example with his play. And I think the same thing happens with SGA with us, is that SGA leads by getting us off to a groove. Everybody can get into the flow without feeling the pressure of trying to do too much. And last night I felt like that's what happened. At the beginning, we were giving up, going back to the old Thunder. Remember how last year we would just give up shot after wide open shot after wide open shot. You go to the Knicks game or you go to San Antonio game. It was like, can somebody please guard somebody? How the hell are they getting wide open looks like this? And so that's kind of what it was last night at the beginning. And then, of course, the Thunder got on a run and This is the first half, second half. And the Thunder, of course, closed out the half on a 16-2 run, which closed the gap to 2 points. We were down 16. And then we went on a 16-2 run to be down 2. But you can see that the Grizzlies in the first half were 10 for 23 from 3, 41% from the field, 15 rebounds, 14 pips, and then 4 turnovers. And that was the one thing that I thought was very telling about us, was that 8 turnovers, and 4 of them was by Chet. And 9 for 19 from the field, 53% from the field, 9 for 19 from 3, which is really good for us. That's almost 50%. 15 rebounds, which we were tied with them, 14 points in the paint, 8 turnovers. and then 6 points for the bench. Now, this is the thing that was most telling for me was the fact that we scored 1 point the second half from the bench. 1 point the second half from the bench. 1. And then we'll go back and we'll look at the roster and look at the score so you can kind of see what I was talking about. But 1 point from your bench. 1 point from the second half. That is just completely unacceptable. You can't do that. I mean, you absolutely can't have to where you score 0 point. I mean, 1 point the second half. Then you look at us 3-point shooting. We were 1 for 15 the second half. 1 for 15. Got into that old thing that we did last year where we would just throw shots up. 47% from the field, 43 rebounds, 34 rebounds. So we lost the rebounding battle, but we did win the points in the paint by 8, and then 18 turnovers. And what have I talked about ad nauseum? The Thunder, if you have more than 15 turnovers tops, you're not going to beat a team that's any good. And that's exactly what happened. 18 turnovers. And what was sad part is Chet had 6 and Trey Mann had 5. So just between those two, they had 11 turnovers between those two. 11 turnovers between two of your best players. So actually, supposed to be your two best players on the court both had 11 turnovers, or to combine. And what happened is that Chet is just like I said. The other said Wednesday. Chet is slow. Let's not say slow. Jang is slow. Chet is methodical. He's sitting there, slowing down, trying to work on his handles so everybody can talk about what great he is. Well, dude, they're flying behind you. They're coming to slap the ball away. And he was complaining about, nobody's telling me. Yes, Jay Will was screaming at you from behind about doing that, but you did not see him. And so what were you doing? You were going slow. And that's what I see is his shot is slow, and he's got to speed that up because it doesn't do any good to have all those handles and all those moves, and you do a step back, and it's like move, shot, move, shot. It doesn't do you good. Like I teach my players when I train them, I said it doesn't do you good to make a move if your release is slow. Your release has to be quicker. Now you're going to miss shots in the beginning because you're releasing the ball quicker. Because what it is boom, 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 up, release. Boom, 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 up, release. Chet is boom, 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 up, release. If that makes sense to you. He's boom, boom, boom on his handles. He gets the step back, and then he's this, and then release. Instead of boom, 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 step back, and up and gone. And that's going to allow anybody to make up the room that they need to be able to block his shot, which is what happened on Sunday or Monday. And last night, if he's not wide open, he's like Jang. If he's not wide open, he's not going to be able to release the basketball, which he should be because, hell, dude, you're 7 foot tall. Just get your butt down in the paint and turn around and do a fadeaway from 6-8 feet. Who's going to stop that? Or turn around and do a jump hook. But he wants to be a stretch 4 and knock down a 3, and we'll go over the stats. We'll show you the stats in a minute. Like I said, I do like Chet. But once again, I don't know. I don't know what he's really going to be able to bring to us. Like I said, defensively, what I'd say Chet's stats were going to be 12 to 14 points a game, about 8 rebounds, and 2 blocks. And I'm going to bump that up to probably 2.5, 3 blocks, depending on how many games he plays. But that's what I said, and then they were on the shows today, I was listening to some talk shows, and they were saying, same thing I said, it's where he's at. Why? Because SGA is going to score 30. J-Dub and Josh are going to get somewhere around the 20s. One of them is going to average 20-something. The other one is going to be close to that. Dort is going to get his shots in there at, 14, 15. So that leaves Chet right there. Then you've got Jay Will that's going to probably average 8, 9 points a game. You got Isaiah Joe that's going to be averaging 8, 9, maybe 10 points a game. Then you've got Aaron Wiggins going to be 6, 8 points a game. Then you've got you've got those guys group in there. So that's your guys right there. So where's Chet going to get all his points? Because let's face it, he's not going to be able to play every game. He's going to play tonight, which I thought was interesting because we talked about that last night on After the Storm, that that I don't know if Chet should play in back-to-back games, but I do believe that Chet needs to play as many games as possible. Now, him playing tonight, does that mean he's not going to play in Vegas? Which I think he needs to go to Vegas and play, because that's where the real competition is going to be. And Wembanyama is going to be in Vegas. Now, we do not play them, so that has a lot to do with it. Here, excuse me, here's the Thunder Summer League schedule. We have the Mavs July 8th, which is Saturday, and then we play the Rockets on the 11th, the Pacers on the 12th, the Wizards on the 14th. And when I look at that, I was like, part of my thing with the Thunder is part of when I was looking at that was that of what the Thunder can and cannot do. And the way that I look at the Thunder and what I look at what we can do is that we can continue to move the ball. We can continue to do little things that we have been doing. What worries me to no end is the schedule, because when you look at this, we play the Rockets on the 11th. We play the Pacers on the 12th. We play the Wizards on the 14th. That is the Summer League schedule that we have currently. So Chet he played Monday night, and he played last night, and they're playing him tonight. So to me, it doesn't seem like he's going to play these 4 games in Vegas, which is the toughest competition, which I don't know why he wouldn't, because I think him missing out last year, he needs as much time as possible. I'm not sure about the back-to-backs. We know that Chet is going to want to play back-to-back. No matter what the coaches say, no matter what I say, no matter what you say, Chet is going to want to play as much as possible or play back-to-backs. I just don't think during the season that he's going to be that he needs to be able to play back-to-backs. I think that he needs to get to the point where he does not play back-to-back, because of the simple fact that I think if he plays back-to-back, that's more of a chance for him to get hurt. But if they're playing him tonight, that means he may not play this weekend or this in the Vegas, which I think is where the competition is. And if he doesn't, then that means they're saving him against the best competition and playing him against what you see here. So once again, protection, protection, protection. Let me see the guy against some competition and see what he does, because what I see from Chet is he's still pressing, but he's just all that fancy handles and bringing the ball up the court. They've got him bringing him like he's a point guard. He ain't a point guard. That is not happening. The Thunder are trying to, like last night we're listening to the broadcast, and I was so sick of them talking about Chet and his skill level. It was wearing me out, because I'm just going, okay, Chet's a nice game, but his skill level is not that great. His skill level is good. He can do some things, but he can't. I've seen other people do the same type stuff, and it just worries me because, all they talk about is Chet, 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 Chet. And then it was so funny as last night. Sorry, I'm trying to look up, get ready for this one part. But it was so funny is J Will makes a block last night. And I can promise you, if that was Chet, they would have been screaming, oh, look, he ran full court and he did this and he did that. And like, really? The fact that J Will ran full court, blocked a shot that could have been an easy layup. He blocks it. We go down, score, and tie the score. Now, if that had been Chet, they're bragging about, he's this and he's that. Yeah, he's doing basic stuff, but then they don't talk about him getting the ball stole from him. They don't talk about anything negative, and they shut up for a while, because it's like, dude, quit hyping the guy. Let the guy play and let him do some stuff, but you can't. That's what the NBA wants to do. Hype him, hype him. That's what the Thunder want to do. Hype him, hype him, hype him, hype him, hype him. And, dude, he's 12 to 14 points a game. That's what he is. He's going to take him a while to adjust to the game, to figure out where he needs to be. Now, will he be more than that at some point? Possibly. But with SGA doing his deal, Josh continuing to grow where he grows, J-Dub continue to do what he does, where's Chet going to get the 20 points at? Because those three are going to be rolling. And like I said before, I don't see any scenario where I want Chet on the floor, but I don't see any scenario where I do not want Josh and J-Dub or SGA and Josh or SGA and J-Dub on the court at all times. Two of those three guys should be on the court at all times if you want to win. And then you can mix in Isaiah Joe or Kaysen, which we won't see him until Saturday. So to me, it's like, hey, this kid is pretty good. He's okay, but he is not earth changing. But for him to be able to do more, what he does is I like the fact that you had J Dub and J Will J Will and Chet playing together, because to me that allowed, and Nathan made a good point last night on After the Storm. He said that it reminded him of Ibaka and what's our guy's name? Kendrick Perkins, is that Kendrick Perkins would guard the middle, kind of like what Jay Will is doing, more physical. And then that allowed Ibaka to roam and block shots. And I think that's the same thing that the Thunder are doing here, that allows him to roam and be able to block shots, which is what we would need to if he can get 3 to 4 blocks a game. That would be great. But scoring, we pretty much got that down. And when you look at the stats last night, here are the stats last night. Here, let me pull that up so you guys can see the full thing. Here are the stats last night. Chet, 30 minutes, and remember they only play 40 minutes because it's 4 10-minute quarters. He played 30 minutes. He was 3 for 8, 0 for 4 from 3, and his three-point shot is just not pretty at all. 4 for 4 from the line, 11 rebounds, 2 steals, only 1 assist, which is okay, 3 blocks, but 6 turnovers. It was terrible. And then you look at J Will, 27 minutes, 4 for 11, 2 for 7, okay? 2 for 7 for 3, and he had a couple that rolled in and out. But 3 rebounds, 4 rebounds, that's just unacceptable. He's got to be in the 7-8 range, period. Now, Jang did get a lot of rebounds last night, and when you looked at him, 32 minutes, 5 for 10, 1 for 4. And he did play a little bit better, but he's painful to watch. God, he's slow. But like I said, I'm not going to give him any kind of comment one way or another until I see him at the end of next year. That's when I'll be able to give him some sort of opinion one way or another about Jang, because right now he's just really slow with the ball and just wears me out. Jared Butler, I do like what I saw. He played a lot better last night than he did the first game. Had way too many turnovers, trying to do one-on-one and trying to do too much, faded at the end. Trey, 5 turnovers, but you can see his stat line, 10 for 14, 2 for 6. And once again, when Trey is way, way out, it just gets him in trouble. Get your butt closer to the line and do what you need to do on the three-point line. Quit trying to stretch your way out there. You get your body all out of whack. But when you can see, here are the stats right here. 3-point, we were 10 for 34. That's 29%. 29%. That's just, you're not going to beat anybody shooting 29%. You got to be able to do better than that and not be able to do that. That's what's got to happen with the Thunder. And if they continue to do that, it's not gonna work at all. It's not gonna be pretty for the Thunder. But 10 for 34, you can see that 29%, and you can see everybody's stats right there. I mean, Jay Will, 2 for 7, Trey Mann, 2 for 4, Chet, 0 for 4. Butler, 3 for 7. He's the only one that shot anywhere remotely good besides Shackelford. And I like that kid a whole lot. I really, really like him. He is going to be a player. I really like what I see from Shackelford, and I like what he has to offer, because I think he's going to make the Thunder. He can be that shooter that comes off the bench that gives us what we need, and I'm excited about what I see from him, and I really really like what I see from Shackelford. Good guy. I really like that kid. And then, the rest of them, I'm really worried about the 1 point, because when you see that, the 1 point coming from the bench was Shackelford. He scored 1 point in the second half, going 1 for 3 from the free throw line, had 1 free throw he made. That's not going to get it done. That's not going to get it done. You can't do that. If the Thunder have these kind of numbers, the Thunder are not going to do well. But, of course, the Summer League is coming up, so we'll see what's going to happen. But I will say this. I'm so excited about our team. And, with the fact that you do have J Dub, and, we'll go over our roster that we've been over several times so you'll know who is on the roster, who we have, and I'll break that down, then we'll move on. You've got SGA, and I just think we're doing right now showcasing Trey Man for trade. That I don't see where he's going to fit in with Kaysen, and then you got Vasily, which we have not seen him yet, but that's what you got. Then you've got Josh Giddey, Lou Dort, and Isaiah Joe. So SGA, Josh, Lou Dort, and Isaiah Joe. Those are your four for sure. J Dub is your fifth. We know Aaron Wiggins is going to be six, and then we won't see Keontae, so we're not sure what we're going to get out of him. And then you've got Chet and Jay Will. So that's your seven. And then after that, that is that seven? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, Chet's seven and Jay Will is 8. And then, Davis Bertans is probably going to be a little backup, and because Chet cannot play 70 or 82 games. We know he's going to play 70-something games, so we already know that. And then, of course, Poku's got to play. Kendrick Williams got to play. So that is your 12 right there. Jeremiah Robinson Earl, that's 13. And then you got to figure out what you're going to do. Is Kaysen going to play? Is he not going to play? Keontae, is he going to play? Is he not going to play? And so that's kind of where you're at with this team and what the Thunder are doing currently. But I do love what I've seen thus far. I like what our team has to offer. Oh, excuse me. And remember, if you've got a question or you want to, if you want to talk to me, if you have any questions about what I'm talking about, please go ahead and Skype us at the number right here, because if you have any questions, you can Skype me, and this is a way for you to kind of throw your opinion in. If you disagree with me, it's okay if you disagree with me. I don't really care. You can disagree with me all you want. That's a good thing if you disagree with me. I have no problems with someone disagreeing with me, because I think that's part of it. Is that anytime you've got conversation, it's good. So 405-551-8300, 405-551-8300 if you have any questions, or if you want to comment or make something to talk about what I'm saying. Give your Thunder opinion, because I am excited about the team, and I believe you guys are as well. So now in NBA breaking news, NBA news, not breaking news, but NBA news, the Mavericks, Spurs, Celtics just did a three-team deal this morning. The Mavs getting Grant Williams, which I think may hurt the Celtics, but they don't really need him since they got Porzingis. That made him free to get rid of him. Reggie Bullock, the Spurs got Reggie Bullock and an unprotected Dallas swap pick from 2030, which who the hell knows? That's 2030. That's 7 years from now. Who knows what's going to happen 7 years from now? The Celtics, of course, are going to get multiple second-round picks out of the deal, which is a good thing for them. So, because they love picks, and so that's going to be good for them to get some second-round picks, because you can find some gems in the second round. Look at what we got in J Dub. So, just going to be J Will. So you can get some second-round picks. Now, this is what I thought was really interesting. The Knicks backed out of a trade deal with Paul George. I thought that was extremely interesting, the way that they did that, because that just tells me that we talked about right at the end of the year. The Clippers have to do something different. They've got to do something. It's not working. They're spending all this money on Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, and neither one of them plays. Paul George at least plays more than Kawhi does. But the question is, both of them are coming up next year. Both of their last years are next year for player options. So the question is, do those guys go ahead and opt out and move on, or do they stay with the Clippers? And I think both of them are going to find the same thing now that Kyrie found out, the same thing that James Harden found out. There's really not a market out there. So they're going to be stuck with them again one more year, and I think the Clippers know that. That's why they're trying to get rid of Paul George, because they know that, no team's going to give him the max deal. That's not happening. They know that. So what do? You try to get rid of the guy a year before the last year of his contract. And I can't say that I blame him. Of the two, you got Paul George is tradable. You really can't trade Kawhi, because he is your linchpiece. And on top of that, he is the guy also, talking about Kawhi, that you're opening up a new gym and you want Kawhi there if he can play. But, who knows how bad Kawhi's injury is or isn't. But, the problem I have with the NBA, unlike football only guarantees part of your money. The NBA guarantees the whole thing. Now, that's the beautiful thing about the NBA, and baseball does the exact same thing. Unless they buy you out, then, of course, there's a percentage of the buyout or whatever. But, that's the problem when you fully guarantee contracts, is that because once they're fully guaranteed, then these guys can do whatever the hell they want because they can get their money. It's just like Patrick Mahomes signed his $500 million deal, and $477 million of it is conditionally guaranteed. And there's also penalties to be made that are going to make up for Patrick Mahomes and his agent, which Perry Bear talks about this contract. He gets his money guaranteed by when the year started this year, and then in March. His contract for 2025 was guaranteed. Or 2024 was guaranteed. 2023 this year is already guaranteed from last year. So this year's contract guarantees him for next year. Next year's contract automatically guarantees him from the following year. The next contract automatically guarantees him for the following year. So he's going to get his money. So all these people talking about, blah, blah, blah. No, there's little things in his contract. Plus, there's penalties to be made by the Chiefs. If something happened, you don't fulfill everything in the contract, then the Chiefs are on the hook for $477 million. Now, what are the Chiefs going to make of that? They're going to make $1 billion. So they're going to double what they're going to make off the money they make off Patrick Mahomes easily. Why? Ticket sales, jersey sales, and merchandise, TV money, the more you're on. They're going to make $1 gazillion. Okay? And unlike a lot of these quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes is worth it, and he's winning them championships, which is even more money. Gives you more ability. Raise your prices for sponsors. It gives you all the things that winning brings with that. So that makes a huge deal. Whereas in the NBA, these guys are making all this money. I mean, you look at oh my God, my mind just went blank at the Pelicans. I mean, you look at him, Zion. He played 29 games this year. 29 games and got paid, $30 million? I mean, to me, it's just, if you're hurt, then yes, your money should be guaranteed. But if you're taking games off and all of this, to me, it's like these guys, yeah, I understand it's part ownership too, because they want to win championships. So what do? They allow these players to rest, which infuriates fans, infuriates me. It's like, dude, Michael Jordan played, Kobe played, Magic played, Bird played, Kareem played. Everybody played all these games and still won championships. Now all of a sudden, because Popovich made it popular by resting Tim Duncan when they were older, he didn't do it when they were young. He was prolonging their careers at the end. So now players are doing it in their 20s, not in their 30s. I mean, to me, there should be a deal. Yeah, you got to play a minimum of 75 games or 80 games. In every game on the road, you should be made to play. Made to play every 42 games minimum you've got to play on the road. You play every road game unless you're physically unable because of an actual injury, not because of a broken toenail or something that you should be able to play. That's how I feel about it, because there are these kids, like I never forget, Randy Wright and I were at the Thunder game, and LeBron was playing when he was with the Cavs. And so Randy and I were sitting there, and this dad was up there, this little kid was all upset because he just found out LeBron wasn't playing. And we were like, we looked over there, and this is probably 2013-ish, 14, somewhere around there. And it was bad because I remember looking over there, and here's this kid all upset because LeBron wasn't playing. And his dad was upset because of the simple fact they had spent all this saved up for the one game for this kid to see his favorite player, and his favorite player wasn't playing. I mean, you're talking about him the greatest. I'm out. I'm out on him. I'm out. And everybody comes up with excuses because of this generation and the way they look at everything. This generation also believes in participation trophies. Soft as cotton candy. Sorry, I can't. It's very frustrating. Sorry, I need to get off my soapbox. I'm going to go over here and thank our sponsors, Collaborative Logic. Appreciate them for doing everything that they do to keep me up and running. And I definitely got to get my Stream Deck. As soon as we get off the air, I'm going to call Russell and set up a deal for me to take my system in there so that he can get me all hooked up. So if you have any needs for computers, software to be written to make your office run smoother, if you need website design, they can do all that. So they're more than just a computer company. They're more than a company that just put your network together. And the thing, like I said, I like about them, they can come and remote in to your computer and they don't have to disrupt your office. SRB, if you have any engineering, civilian, or planning, my guy Mark Long is the dude to talk to over there. They love, love, love to be behind the scenes. Oak Grove Trucking, and Jose Fierro. And yes, Jose, I will be talking about USA Soccer today because I know we play Sunday, okay? Yes, I was planning on doing it tomorrow, but I will do it today too, Jose, to talk about USA men's and women's playing on Sunday, okay? So get off my back about it. Navco, and my guys, Greg and Max Nafee, I appreciate everything they do for me to keep us up, running, and going. And YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They are an equal housing lender, and of course, they are a member of the FDIC. And they're also a proud sponsor for us to go out and support minority, women, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. Appreciate them for everything that they do for us. And then also, they are if you want to pre-qualify online, you can at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. If you want to pre-qualify online, you can do that, or you can go in and see the guys because they are a personal bank. And here are all the locations that you can go to see them. Now, the guys over at the main bank, that's Kent, that's Nathan Taylor, that's Joe Horn, that's Carson Wright. They would love for you to come over there and see the guys, see them there. Sorry. Man, I don't know what I need to get something to drink. Anyway, they love for you to see them over at the main bank, or you can go to YNB East, 235 South Yukon Parkway in Yukon, right off 66th. And Yukon Parkway, YNB Mustang on Mustang Road, 218 North Mustang Road there in Mustang. YNB Parkway, which is on Garth Brooks Boulevard and I-40. It's just south of I-40 right there. You cannot miss it, right there in front of Integris. YNB Peoples, which is the bank that I always go to at 6201 Northwest 23rd between MacArthur and Rockwell. So I always go there because it's just quicker and easier for me to get to Bethany than it is to go to Yukon. Now, I do go to Yukon once a month to do our live stream there at the bank. We love it over there. You can, like I said, any of those things you can do. And then, of course, DT Construction and Consulting, if you have any needs for any, if your roofing has been damaged in any kind of way, they can come in. And Drew is very, very good at working with insurance companies, so you don't have to deal with them. You can contact him at 405-209-4051. They also do work as far as if you have any outside stuff that needs to be done, or cabinetry or anything inside or out of your house, they can work with you and get that done. 405-209-4051, or you can email him at dtconstruction2015@outlook.com. They are respectful, local, and most of all loyal, which basically means they will answer the phone when you call, which is important. Now, in NFL news, here is the odds to win the MVP this year. Mahomes, of course, plus 650. Joe Burrow plus 750. Josh Allen plus 750. And Jalen Hurts at plus 1,200. Now, when you look at this, you look at the odds to win. Of course, Patrick is going to be pretty much the favorite every year because of what he does. And it's so funny is that he only averaged 6.5 yards, 4.5 yards to throw last year. And in his MVP year that he won it, he averaged 17. So basically, in 2021, what they basically did is said, okay, we're going to cut off the ability to throw long. And he struggled because he wanted to hit the home run. And then last year he said, okay, you want me to check down? I will. And that's basically what happened to him last year, which made him lead the NFL in yardage, lead the NFL in touchdowns, and his MVP, because he is still the only person in history to have, in 1 year, now to win the MVP regular season, to win the MVP of the Super Bowl, to win the Super Bowl, to have the most, lead the league in passing yardage, to lead the league in touchdowns. He is the first person and the only quarterback ever to do that all in 1 year. And the only ones to accomplish that are Tom Brady and I believe Joe Montana are the only two people to ever accomplish that for their career. Isn't that crazy? For their career. And that's the mailman over there. He came out. Y'all can hear Ace going crazy. He heard Ace. He had to stop when he walked up on the porch. Ace is all up at the window. He needs to leave the mailman. I don't know what it is with him and the mailman, but he is not a fan of the mailman. Anyway, Josh Allen. It's so funny. A lot of you guys have probably heard about this. Josh Allen saying because of Stephon Diggs coming to the first practice and mandatory and then leaving. And, Josh Allen saying that the media is making a big deal out of it, and people are making a big deal out of it more than what it was. Well, Josh, first of all, your head coach said that it was extremely big deal that he wasn't there. Everybody was there but him. He wasn't there. And he had left. So what does that say? And the fact that you're talking about it wasn't that big deal, yes, it was. Because it's Stephon Diggs and what he did when y'all lost in that last game, how he was all over you. And then this. So what does that tell me? There's trouble in paradise. Because also, remember, him leaving Minnesota, it was in his 4th year with Minnesota. And they were trying to promote Adam Thielen over him, which is why Minnesota is Minnesota. How the hell are you going to take Adam Thielen over him? Because then you get Justin Jefferson, and you did not make the same mistake by doing that. And what happened? Adam Thielen is gone. But it cost you Stephon Diggs. Just think about this. If you had Stephon Diggs and just Justin Jefferson, that would be a monster. Now, of course, you probably couldn't keep everybody because of money, but that would be almost as good as probably as good or probably better than T. Higgins and Jamar Chase that Joe Burrow gets to throw to. So we'll see how that works out for them. But that being said, Josh, this is a huge deal because of Stephon's deal. This is 3rd year in Buffalo, and diva receivers are the way they are. That's why Tyreek Hill is not in Kansas City anymore. When you're a diva like that and you want to act like that, well, guess what? The team you're with can only do so much, and then they're gone and they're done. Because this is the thing, Stephon. Your window in Buffalo is closing. Your defense is getting older. You're getting a little bit older. Your window is closing there. The Bengals are getting better. The Jets have gotten better. The Chargers have gotten better. The Chiefs are still the Chiefs. So you've got all of these teams in the AFC who are getting better. The Dolphins are getting better. The Steelers have gotten better. The Browns, we don't know what the hell they're going to do. Clearly the Ravens have gotten better. So now your window is slowly shrinking. And then you're going to come up and try to be a diva? You need to be in the place as much as possible. And it's like the Chiefs with Chris Jones. Everybody's worried about Chris Jones. Why? Chris Jones is about the money. They're going to keep. Now, if he misses training camp at the end of this month, then that's when I'll be concerned. Then I'm like, okay, what's happening here? That's when that will bother me. That's when I will kind of go, raise an eyebrow. But this, yeah, he's about the money, and he's a veteran, and he's in Steve Spagnuolo's system. It's not like he doesn't know what the hell's going on. And he probably, arguably, is the best defensive tackle. I say he is the best defensive tackle in the NFL. So, I mean, he's going to get his money. He's going to get it worked out. I don't have any doubts about that. So it's not quite the same because Chris Jones wasn't making a fool out of himself like Stephon Diggs. Why? Randy Moss did the same thing, and then he was gone. Now he's doing the same thing, and he was gone out of Minnesota. Now he's in Buffalo acting the same way. Guys, and that's the problem with acting the fool, and I've said this about Russell Westbrook and James Harden. At some point, when your skills are at that point, they're going to have enough of you, and they're going to be done. Tyreek Hill, he left the Chiefs to go to Miami. Now he's from Miami, so I get that. He's from Florida, so I get him wanting to be in the warm weather. But Tua versus Mahomes, he only had 7, 8 touchdowns last year. Jerick McKinnon, running back for the Chiefs, had more touchdowns than he did. But once again, you have to not open your mouth because a lot of times when you open your mouth, what do? That offers and that allows things to come in that necessarily shouldn't. And when you start doing that, that allows that team to get rid of you because I can promise you, you act a fool, they're gone. They will get rid of you over and over and over, and they're not going to be shy about it whatsoever. They're just not. They're not going to be shy about it. They will bounce you as soon as they get a chance because it's just like with Cam Newton. You know, a lot of what Cam Newton said was correct when he's talking about that he is not. There's not 64 quarterback now. 32 quarterbacks he's high, but there's not 64 quarterbacks that are better than him or whatever it is, 70 something when you count starters, and there's not 70. But because of his attitude and because of the way he handles himself, they don't keep you around. So hopefully all that money you got, you save because that's what you do. You take the situation like this, you know, and then you make it better because you're getting $3, $4, $5 million a year to be on the sideline. Why wouldn't you make another $18, $20 million? You know, yeah, you're Cam Newton, you're older, but you can be a leader, you can be a mentor, you can make another because you're not Tom Brady, you're not Mahomes. But why wouldn't you not sit back and make another $18, $20 million carrying a clipboard? Being a leader or mentoring somebody. Man, dude, that's money you're throwing away. Doesn't make sense. So hopefully you've made enough and you've invested it well that you don't have to worry about it. You can do whatever the hell you want, which I'm hoping that he did. Now he's got a nice cigar bar and restaurant, which I like that, and he's in the right place to have that. And he's going to be successful in that bar. There's no question about that. But he still ain't going to be making millions of dollars unless he franchises it out, opens up multiple. He ain't going to make $1 million out of that because, you know, with cigar bars and stuff like that, it's really hard to make the money unless you're the right person. You got to be in the right spot. You got to be in the right location in order to make those things work. Now, he is Cam Newton, and people are going to come in there simply because it's Cam Newton. If he gets stars and, you know, famous people to come in like that, then yes, you know, athletes or whatever, then people are going to go in there simply because they don't know who the hell they might run into. Especially if you have good cocktails, you have a good service, yeah, you're going to make money. There's no question about that. Now to make my guy Jose Fierro happy, my brother, here you go. USA versus Canada Sunday night, 9 p.m. on FS1 at TQL Stadium in Cincinnati. Now TQL is actually their soft soccer stadium. It's not where the Bengals play. It's who have finally renamed their stadium with their cheap owner. But anyway, that is the soccer stadium there in Cincinnati, and the USA men's team play in the World Cup, the Gold Cup, the 9th at 9 p.m. on FS1, and in women's soccer, USA plays Wales Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock. They're in San Diego in an international filming because remember the Women's World Cup is this year because remember it's men's, and then every 2 years it's women's, and the men's will be in the United States in a couple years. So USA women's will start off with Vietnam on the 21st, which is what? Man, that's 2 weeks from Friday? 2 weeks from tomorrow? I believe that's what that is. What's the day? Today is the 6th. Yeah, so it's Friday the 21st, which is 2 weeks, so 15 days. The USA women open up their defense of the World Cup looking for their 4th title. So hopefully they can get that done. We shall see their 3rd in a row, and hopefully they can get that done. USA versus Netherlands on Wednesday the 26th, and then Portugal on August the 1st. But anyway, we'll be looking forward to that. Definitely on Sunday, we'll be watching women's at 2 p.m. Is that right? Is that what I said? Women's at 3 p.m. Against Wales in a friendly, and then the men will be at 9 o'clock Sunday night at 9 on FS1. So looking forward to watching both of those matches so we can see what's going to happen. Then, of course, and I thought our guy Drew Henthorne was going to be on today to talk about it still, but he's not. So I'm going to go over his HuskerDrewPicks.com. Here are his picks. The Sixers taking +4 tonight, which is interesting to see that he did that, but we shall see against the Thunder. He's picking the Thunder to win the game, and the Thunder are favored, which I thought is interesting. But the Thunder will be playing, who are they going to start? Butler, Jang, Chet's going to play back-to-back along with Jay Will and Trey Man. So that's going to be your starting five again like it was last night. Dodgers, he's taking the Dodgers, the money line minus 214. The Yankees plus 113. That's interesting. The Rays minus 138 on the money line. The Reds, money line plus 107. He's taking the Cubs and Brewers. He's taking the under there at minus 120. And then the Red Sox and the Rangers, they're in Boston over 10, minus 110. So anyway, that's go to HuskerDrewPicks.com and you can check it out and give his picks. And he has been on fire and making money. So continue to support my guy and continue to make money because right now the site is free. And at some point, he's going to be charging for it. So but right now it is free. So go in there, follow his bets, and I promise you he's going to make money. He's at around a 60% clip, and he's been on fire baseball-wise. I think in the last 2 weeks he's been something like 40-something and 20-something. So he's been on fire lately. So go check out my guy, Drew Hinton. Probably is better than that, really, because I know he was 14 and 3 or 14 and 4 in a 3-day stretch. So check out HuskerDrewPicks.com and my guy Drew Hinthorn if you want to do that. And remember tonight, you can check out me. We'll be doing the show tonight after the storm, which is the OKC Thunder post-game analysis following the Thunder and the Sixers game tonight. You can follow me on Facebook and watch it if you're a Facebook deal, or YouTube. Please, if you're on Facebook, go to YouTube, hit subscribe, like, and notifications, please. That'd be great for you if you could do that. And or you can go to the MC Sports Network, www.mcsportsnetwork.com. You can look it up and be able to watch all the past episodes from there. And then, of course, search the Unpopular Hour - Matt Clark on YouTube for that if you want to follow me on YouTube. And I appreciate your support on those. So, and remember, tonight the Thunder will be playing tonight. I'm excited to see the game, and of course we will be doing the schedule. So tonight it's the Sixers at 6 p.m. on ESPN2 tonight. That's ESPN2. So please, everybody, get a tune in and give the Thunder some support. And then of course Saturday 2:30 p.m. again on ESPN2 against the Mavs. And like I said, tonight. Supposedly Chet will be playing back-to-back, which I'm not that big of a thing on, but that may tell me that they're going to sit him after these 3 games, which I'm like, if you're going to play him in the Summer League against real competition there in Vegas. But you're doing it here, so we shall see how it works. And it's not necessarily real competition because those teams, to me, what I mean is the Mavs are going to be playing their better players in that game. But Chet's got 3 games out, and they don't want to take a chance on getting hurt. I believe that. I'm behind that 100%. But tonight, it should be Chet, Trey, Jay Will, Jang, and Butler as the starters tonight. So you will be able to get a good feel. And then, of course, you can check us out. Like I said, we will be doing the show after that to give you a good feel for what happened with the Thunder and the Sixers tonight. So that being said, everybody have a fantastic day.